I'm this far from the mic.
And I'm this far from the mic.
And together we are These Fars from the Mic. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Arch Plays, where I'm playing.
Yeah, 'cause I suck.
Yeah. I'm Tarbuck Transom, by the way.
And I'm not a vampire, in case anyone's forgotten or just joined.
Yeah.
Wait, what are they wearing? Oh. Okay, so...
Rice hats?
I guess. Remember, they're wearing hats. Oh, okay.
You can just jump on them.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so, you have...
You know what that reminds me of?
Recorded this. Wow.
That reminds me of, like, the wafers you get in church.
It's been a long time since I've thought about those.
Oh, when did I think about that? Every once in a while I'll see something referencing them. They didn't taste that bad. Like, people always rail on, it's just so plain and simple. Like,
you know, it's inauthentic, right? Because those are supposed to be, like, it's supposed to be what the disciples had. But the disciples were Jews, for the most part, and they would have had, as a Passover feast, unleavened bread. Like, bread without the little pockets of air in it. It would have been more like hard crackers.
So why don't they do that instead?
Because nobody gives a shit about authenticity.
Well, I'm a little disenchanted now.
Yeah, I have to ruin everything. Normally that's not my thing. Yes, I am. But normally I ruin everything by, like, shitting on it.
Your thing.
Normally I ruin things by shitting on it. Ruining stuff with facts is normally Mask's thing.
Oh, wait. Are you shitting on it if you're ruining it in general?
No. I'm gonna say no.
Okay, what you think? Oh, what?
Oh, alright.
That seems kind of bullshit. Well, I guess I can see the logic behind it, though.
Alright.
So what's... Holy crap, it's Pearl!
Alright, so we're playing as Pearl.
Like, very early... What the hell? Very early on Pearl, when her nose was way more pronounced. I can't be the only one to notice that.
Oh, cool, you can kill the Spinies. Normally, Spinies are basically immortal. You can only kill them with Koopa shells.
That's different.
I bet you can't hit the metal there with the stabby jump.
Probably not.
Alright. Let's stop talking about the game, because nobody gives a shit about the game. Nobody's even watching this.
Well, I was just about to say...
There are people watching it now because I, like, came at Digi on his Digi versus Everybody.
Well, you need to, like, keep coming at him because our viewership has slowed down even still.
That's the YouTube algorithm. And the fact that we didn't, like, right after I advertised for us on Digi versus Everybody, I stopped editing because I went to BronyCon, and
I got one episode out and just never released the next one for some dumb reason.
We went to 2 weeks worth of work trips, and then...
Yep. Oh, bye, bird!
And then he closed the show the week I got back.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking of, like, calling him out on a podcast or something like that.
You did on Twitter.
Yeah.
But he was traveling at the time, so you need to, like, call him back out, like, tomorrow or something when he's home.
He's always traveling.
He's not always traveling.
He doesn't always tell us what he's doing.
Well, yeah, but this time he did.
Well,
that lost you a lot of time. Hey, but you did it.
Ha! That's because I'm great. I am good at video
your
games.
own dick, 'cause I won't.
Ha! A sexual joke.
Yeah. So, I was listening to the childhood episode of the Procrastinators podcast.
Yeah.
And so, by the time this came out, we'll have long released our little video about railing against people's ideas of adulthood and how adults tend to suck.
Mm-hmm.
But something that we've not really talked about, because we talked about that topic on the show before, but we never really talked about our, like, childhoods, like, you know, in particular, with just how much they sucked because of people who sucked.
Mm-hmm.
So, something that... Oh, God, what was the question? So, to start us off, how different are you now from when you were a kid?
Pretty different. I was all about, like, I was 100% about the consumption of fiction in video games, and honestly, if it wasn't for this show, I don't play that many video games anymore, except for Overwatch.
Now, is that because you don't have time, or what's that about? Because I've been wondering that myself.
A lot of it is that I really like YouTube, and I spend a lot of time watching YouTube.
That's fair, yeah. Yeah. Would you want... I think you've mentioned it before, but, like, in this context where it's that versus YouTube, would you want to be playing more games?
Yes, but I would also want to still be watching all of that YouTube.
I see.
That's the problem. And I kind of have, like, if there's 3 legs to this stool, and it's that's a bad metaphor.
Like, all the games that you'd want to play are...
Oh.
Goodbye. Oh, no. Come on, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The games
this is why I'm playing, because I'm good at video games.
Fucking bitch. the games that you'd want to play, they'd be ones where it wouldn't be great to watch a video with, right?
Right. You can't split your attention or it ruins it. Something like
sense.
Life is Strange, for example. We just played Life is Strange recently.
Not me, but my sister and him, they played Before the Storm. I'm gonna get around to it with all the other things I've been meaning to get around to. I'm a busy person.
You are a busy person. But you're encountering the same thing that I'm talking about, which is...
just so much you want to do, but so little time to
do it.
There's
videos, there's stuff that you want to work on, and then there's video games.
Yeah. And then for me, on top of that, having a regular 8-hour job. Just no time for anything. I don't think you're gonna... Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, you can hop on that. Okay. How else are you different, like, other than playing video games?
Let's see. I'm a much more practical person. Like, the stuff that I want is a lot more... Or the things that I value and look for are a lot more function-driven than they used to be.
You're already over here. You want to go that way. Because there's a flag that you didn't flip.
There's a flag I didn't flip.
I think. That's what it looked like, at least. Oh, wait, maybe you did.
I thought I flipped all the flags.
You did flip that flag. Okay, then, yeah, you want to go right there.
But, do I? Because isn't that where I...
No, there was another one that you did that with, I think. Yeah, because you just came through that door. Yeah, now you gotta... Yeah, because you broke the boxes, now you gotta do this.
I was just trying to get the purple points, okay.
Yeah. So you're more practical.
Yes, I'm considerably more practical. Particularly in how I talk to people, I'm a lot more... For one thing, while I was popular in high school and stuff like that, I was kind of a pariah as a small child.
What do you mean a pariah?
Like, people hated me.
I guess I'm not surprised, but what'd you do?
Well, you know, I'm a kind of a confrontational person. Imagine that, but way less prepared for life.
Oh.
And I didn't actually care if people understood what I was saying to them.
Makes sense.
That's a hell of a sound.
So what changed?
Part of it was... Honestly, part of it was definitely the Tarbuck character. Like, the guy that I'm playing most of the time. Fast-talking megastar and indestructible super god. Like, that only works as an act if you're, like... Oh no!
Oh no!
Well, good that they respawn. That only works as an act if you're clear in what you're saying. And you can see the fruits of some of that labor from my appearances on Digibro vs. Everybody.
I wonder if we can move those, because obviously the bombs destroy it, and they already destroyed some of it.
Let's see if we can...
Oh!
Okay.
Okay. I don't think I was any more or less practical as a kid. Like...
That...
Like... when I'm thinking specifically about being understood, I've always wanted that, but I still have kind of the same attitude of, fuck it, people are shitty and won't listen to me anyway, so why bother? I still have a bit of that attitude.
I would be curious to see what it was like growing up with siblings, for you specifically, because your home environment was so different than mine.
Yeah,
And,
like what do you mean?
well,
what in particular?
Well, a lot of stuff that I would look back on just in my life in general. I've spent a huge amount of time around Mask. Like, we knew each other for a long time before I met you. And so, like, there's a lot of things that we went through together, but we were, like, allies during it, like, because we're not related, we're just friends. So I imagine it would be very different than the relationship between you and your sister, where, like, maybe for a period of a couple years you hate each other or something.
That honestly is true, actually. It was, let's see, when was it? It was like, I think during most of my middle school years, or at least during almost all of her middle school years, and for, oh no, maybe it was just early high school years. Either way, like, suddenly, like, I can't remember if something in particular happened, like, between us, or if it was just, like, things happening around us that made it, but she would clash with me constantly. Like, we and I just could not get along, partially because you know, she was you know, in a shitty way, and my good girlness just did not jive with that, because you know, for how shitty my parents could be, I was still the good kid, and I kind of was like...
You, the good kid? I never would have guessed that.
I know. I had a perfect daughter streak when I was young. But oftentimes what I'd end up doing is, like, when I feel like my parents weren't being parent enough, I would, like, act like the parent, and not always in the best way, because, you know, I wasn't very well reasoned, like, on some things. And so that would run up against... her a lot, especially, like, you know, I would get worried like a parent would, because I felt like, well, someone has to. And I can't understand why my parents aren't. Although, looking back now, there were quite a few situations where it's just like, dude, you just kind of gotta let it go. And it wasn't, like, in those situations, my parents weren't necessarily being bad. It was just, I was being too precocious. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. But then, I can't remember what exactly, or how exactly it happened, but my best friend at the time, he moved in, and then you know, they were talking, and suddenly we were all just hanging out together, and they would watch horror movies, and I'd just be like, okay, I'll just go in the other room. But then, through that, we just started being cordial again. And now, you know, now we're pretty okay.
That's interesting. Because I do have siblings, but they, like, either don't live near enough where it matters, or they suck. So, and like, to this day, that's kind of the end of any relationship or possibility of a relationship there.
Yeah,
like, there's nothing to be built.
Yeah, and that might have been the end of the relationship between me and her if it wasn't for my best friend at the time sort of drawing the connection between us. Like, with one of my brothers, like, he's become a much more decent person than when I knew him when I was living at home. And, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, you seem like someone... How long are you gonna fall for? He seems like someone that I could get along with and, like, you know, be decent with, but we live so far away that it's just, like, it kind of doesn't matter.
He's not really, like, I talked to him for a little bit. He's not really the most reasoned guy, as far as I saw. Like,
Yeah.
he has reasons, but, like, if you raise a problem with some of it, with the way that he thinks, he'll just, like, deflect and move on to another thing, as opposed to actually addressing what you said.
I can see that. I've not totally had I've not had a real conversation with him in the way that you did when we got together that one time. Like, most of that day, like, I'm glad that you had a chance to,
I'm the one who
talk
had
to
fun.
people. Yeah. Like, it's not that I didn't have fun, it was just more like, social engagement for me, but for you, it's just like I was dragging you to this thing, sort of, and you're coming for moral support, and you just happen to find people to talk to.
Yeah. I have a pretty easy time finding people to talk to at most places. That's why I do so well at conventions.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Let's see. Me versus childhood, I'm more reasoned on... Oh, shit.
Whatever.
I'm better reasoned on a lot of things that I used to believe in. And I'm a little more open to just, like... I'm less doe-eyed than I was, even, like, at the end of high school.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I'm a lot harsher on people. Like, I'm way less forgiving.
I mean, that's sparkling, though, so maybe you want more, but you're already here. Ow.
But it didn't. Fine. Oh, you need to be one of the peckers.
I love how you're soot covered. Soot Mario. Okay, you were saying about...
I'm way less forgiving.
Oh, okay, you don't need that.
Or not. Yeah, I'm way less forgiving now than I used to be. Like, I was also a little bit of a... Like, for as challenging as I was to people, I was also kind of a pushover. In that, like, if somebody...
flag!
If somebody wronged me or something like that, I would not really do anything to them.
I can see that.
Like, this one time, my best friend at the time, like, punched me in the stomach.
Why?
I don't remember. I said something to him. He said something first, and I said something back, and he hit me. I was like, get out. Instead of, what I would...
You want to go? You want to fight?
Instead of, like, pile driving him through a table or something like that.
Jeez. What if I just came up to you and just, like, sucker punched you? It wouldn't happen,
I would probably hit you back, but...
Wow. Yeah, fair enough. Also, I cannot imagine a single instance where something like that would occur.
Like, your Call of the Void has its limits, huh?
Yeah, it does. Like, how many times have I said that I want to push my sister off a bridge and I haven't? I Call of the Void. Wait, why don't you go be a samurai?
Well, I need to buy the outfit first.
Yeah, the outfit shop is right there.
I need to be a tanuki first.
Why? You also look like a bunny more than a tanuki. Oh. See, when I saw those, I thought you just jump on them.
Tanukis hide themselves as statues of Buddhist monks, I think.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's an old Mario thing.
Yeah, that makes sense, because in Mario Kart, sometimes when you jump, you become stone, and he does do that exact hand gesture. Okay, I can see that. I think I've become a little less, it wasn't tolerant that you said, it's...
Forgiving?
Forgiving, yes. I've become a little less forgiving, mainly because just noticing more of people's bullshit and not wanting to deal with it, like... I can even see that in my time working at first I was very, like, oh, I understand, everything's, it can suck for me sometimes, but, and now I just look at people who are being dicks and it's like, fuck off, I want nothing to do with you.
You actually got that way after you started doing YouTube.
Yeah, but it's more just having spent time and, thinking about things rather than coming into a world I had no understanding of and then starting to get that. And that's basically the summary of why I'm less, willing to put up with things like that now. Because I've kind of... I've kind of gotten used to, or I've seen it enough where people are just being that way, and so it's just like, why would I want to? It's gonna be in the other guy, the other one, I think.
Probably.
Yeah. It's just like, I put up with you guys once, I don't need to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I think this outfit is going to be way better than the other one over there.
Yeah. This outfit is really cool. Japanese armor is really cool.
It is, yeah.
It's a composite of a bunch of different materials, too. It's like leather and wood and steel.
Well, if it's effective. I love Samurai Mario.
Oh,
That was the quietest sneeze I've ever heard.
I just sneezed for the folks at home.
Oh, I heard that differently.
I just sneezed.
Do you want to know?
Yes, tell me.
I just sneezed for the fucks at home.
For all you fucks at home, I just sneezed.
Don't go. No,
Oh.
don't go yet. You
Oh.
need to get into the Samurai Club.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thanks, bye.
And I have been saying bless you to everything everyone does at all times forever.
Yeah, no, fuck bless you. I mean, I've heard arguments for why it's not that bad socially, but to me it rings out as one of those things that you just do because...
Actually, do you want to bring this up on the next episode? Finish off the childhood topic first.
Oh, no, because I like... So, it comes with the... Remember in the podcast episode of Procrastinators where they'd rather do the tangents rather than just save, oh, we can only talk about this in, like, the specific episode for it?
This is a bit of a different circumstance, but yeah, okay, go for it. We're just, I'm totally fine having, like, infinitely long episodes because it totes doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. But yeah, fuck bless you. It's just one of those niceties that you're told to do just because you know that's what nice people do. And there's
That's what nice people do.
Yeah, it's like, that holding the door open for a lady because, that's just what a gentleman does. There's no rhyme or reason to it necessarily. It's just like, this is a social norm that you need to participate in if you want people to think you're nice.
Sure, certainly. Oh, there is a reason for that. It's because you, as a woman, are biologically inferior to me and incapable of opening doors. It's too much of a strain on your pretty little wrists. You're too fragile for this cruel, cruel world.
God damn, you hit me right at the core. You're right.
Truth hurts. Therefore, anything that hurts must be the truth.
I love that logic. I also love this level. But yeah, fuck bless yous. So, back on to childhood.
Well, I'm not done with bless yous exactly.
Oh, okay.
Because, no. Okay, I'm okay with that.
You better fucking be.
Yay.
Hey, they clapped for you. So now bless you.
Taking notes in the folding screen. Mask and I did a thing like that, like, a couple years before you and I met, where fuck bless you. And all of those things. What I found was that it made it a lot harder to function around, like, normal people.
I bet.
Because they did not really go with it.
Yeah, like, at work, I will say bless you just because, it's expected of me.
Yeah, Tim was particularly not on board with that.
Why?
I immediately countered with, well, when you were in Bolivia, remember all of the times you tried to get somebody to agree to, like, okay, I need you to RSVP for this thing, because you will be costing me considerably if in party supplies and stuff. If you tell me that you're going to be there, and you're not going to be there. And they would assure him that they would be there, and they would not be there. They were just lying to save face.
Yeah,
no. They don't even process it as lying. It's just a thing that you do. You just say that you will be when you have no intention of doing so.
Yeah, that comes off to me as ridiculous.
It's psychotic. I hate that kind of thing.
It's these kind of things that make you anxious.
The, like, people who are just saying that?
Well, no, like that being a societal norm in general. Just like, I have to be a certain way, and hopefully I don't delineate from this, or someone isn't working off a different script, because, you know...
I would leave the country.
No, really?
I would absolutely move over that. No, fuck that.
I can see that. There's obviously something you need to do with that statue and that picture frame.
He had the counter that, like, well, this is a bit of a different situation, because, like, they're just saying that, and it doesn't inconvenience you in any way.
It doesn't inconvenience you, but it kind of stops the conversation, and you're just saying words, just emptiness. That's wasting your time and their time. There's no point to it at all, except that you're just told that you have to do it. Like, you know, it made sense in the time where you say bless you, so then the demon that you're expelling doesn't come back, but nowadays it's like, well, what's it all for?
So, yeah, it's like, imagine... Take one of our inside jokes, like, if I say, getcha getcha ya ya he, then you say...
Mocha choca la tataya.
And I reply, Creole Lady Marmalade. And now imagine if, when someone's, like, whenever somebody ties their shoes, they say, getcha getcha ya ya he, and then everybody around them in earshot has to do the response, and they have to do the response back to everybody who responded to them. Imagine how utterly insane that would be.
Yeah, at that point, the joke's gone. It's not funny anymore.
Right. We're doing it because it's a joke. There's no joke. There's no reference. They're just doing it because they were told to do it.
Exactly.
It reminds me of this thing that I saw on Reddit, like, a while back. So, you hang a banana from the ceiling, okay? And you have a bunch of monkeys. And when one of the monkeys goes for the banana, you hit him with a fire hose.
What the fuck?
Alright. And you do this until he stops going for the banana. And then you put another monkey in the pen. And when that monkey goes for the banana, you hit them both with the fire hose.
What the fuck?
And you do this with more monkeys, and eventually the monkeys catch on, and they beat the shit out of any monkeys that they see who are trying to go for the banana from the ceiling. Then you can one by one replace those monkeys with let's say you now have a pack of 10 that have all gone through this training. Now one by one you replace that pack of monkeys until none of the original monkeys that were taught the reason why do it. And you can take the banana off, off the string or something like that. I think in the original pitch, there's a step ladder that goes up to the banana that makes it easy to reach. And if you take the banana away and it's just the step ladder, they'll keep beating the shit out of other monkeys who go near the step ladder.
That's fucking insane.
And then you can take, you swap out the monkeys, and now they just have this cultural thing where nobody's allowed on the stepladder or will beat the fuck out of them. And none of them understand the reason why. They just know that that's what they've been taught. Yeah. And that's bless you.
Yeah, that's what it is. Only a lot less violent.
Right. So it really bothers me that after you pointed that out, I remembered that I used to do that myself. I used to be all no, not bless you, fuck you. This whole bless you business is dumb.
Yeah.
And now I'm stuck in it's a conflict of inside jokes, because the other half of me says, well, I say bless you all the time, at all times, to anything, including hiccups. You see how those two forces don't agree with each other?
Yeah, no, it's funny-ish, but nah.
Right. At some point, you stop saying it to be funny and annoying and stuff, and you start just saying it out of habit.
Yeah. And I think that's the point where you've gotten to, actually.
Yes, easily.
Why do they not die? Oh, that's why they die. So back to childhood.
Yeah, back to childhood.
So, here's a question.
Yeah.
So, I know you didn't want to grow up in the sense that, other people, want, it's called growing up, but in the idea of, becoming, old enough to do your own thing, did you ever want that as a kid?
I never connected those two ideas to each other. Yeah, because remember, I was also, massively prideful, and I thought I was better than everybody else everywhere. And then when I met Mask, that became thinking we were better than other people was the basis of our friendship. Was, everybody sucks but you.
So you never got to a point where it was like, man, I can't wait until I'm 18 and I can just fuck out of this place.
Well, it wasn't like that. It was, I can already make all of these decisions, it's just that other people are standing in my way. I never felt like there was an upgrade where after this point I will be able to do what I want. It was always more like, I can already do these things, it's just that there are other obstacles to what's in front of me. And so it's only the fact that other people are shitty to me that was keeping me down.
And just making sure that we understand each other. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that the idea of after 18 you'll have the mental capacity to do things. It's more just well, when I'm 18, then the law won't drag me back to my house if I leave. Or, having the option to get your own place, or, make your own money.
Well, if I didn't live with the Arch, then I wouldn't be able to do that now.
Just no one being able to force you into a living situation that you don't want, or keeping money from you, in the way that a parent might.
Well, even after I was 18, my mother still stole stuff from me.
Oh, really? I didn't know that happened.
She would say that she did not, but, I mean, it's a whole thing. My situation is kind of weird because I'm sort of outside the bounds of your question.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting that sense, because I know we've thought about, growing up as, the death of you, but just...
It was all, that kind of, the feeling of limitation was always something that I thought of as an other people problem.
Well, sorry to tell you that I was that other person.
Go on.
It's kind of hard to describe, because what I wanted was to just get away from everything. Mm-hmm. Get away from the house, get away from the sucky people in my life, and have options to do the things that I wanted to, because as a kid, I was very restricted in what I could do. So, in a way, becoming 18 and being able to get a job was desirable. But then on the other hand,
your job, you being able to do that just meant that you're now supporting the household, and all of your time, none of your time belongs to you, and everything sucks.
Well, yeah, that's what it ended up being. And, in the back of my mind, whenever I thought about, so that was, my hope. But then, when I would think honestly about the future, the way I always saw it was, I'm gonna be older, but I'm basically gonna be working, stuck living at home, and stuck providing for, my mom, or just, I'm gonna be just trapped here for the end of my days. Mm-hmm. And so that's...
So you moving into the Archway was a huge deal then.
It was, yeah. Just...
That must have seemed like a I got a golden ticket.
Yes and no. Here,
let
me talk. Yeah. I mean, I know you love to hear yourself talk.
I do love to hear myself talk. I even love to hear other people repeat my words back at me, but they're even sweeter when they're coming from my own mouth, which is why I'm continuing this sentence all the way up until right now.
Oh my god. So, moving out here and far enough away from anything to where I can't be called on to do any of the bullshit that I expected to do. On the one hand, it was a bit of a godsend because, yay, now I don't have to, like, do any of the things that I was worried about, and I could just pretty much do what I want. But on the other hand, it was scary because now I'm fucking broke. I have no job. I'm moving to another state. I'm gonna be far away from anyone I know except for you. It was like, and I only had 1 week's notice.
Oh yeah. I forgot about the insane time crunch that we were on at the time.
Exactly, like, cause in the like, when it would have been decent to make this decision, we were under the understanding, like, okay, you're gonna move to Indiana and I'm gonna stay in Chicago, I'm gonna, like, roommate with someone or something. And then suddenly it's like, hey, fucking come to Indiana with me. And I'm like, what? and it's like, oh yeah, and the only time to really come to Indiana would be next week because that's when my mom's coming up and she can just drive you. And it's like, well, fucking thanks. Like, yeah, okay, let's explain to my job that I only have 1 week, and then let's also work that week, and then also try to pack up everything and hope that I don't fucking forget anything that I might treasure, like my stuffed animals.
You remembered one of your stuffed animals?
I remembered one of them, but I didn't remember any of the ones in the basement, and those were the important ones. Mrs. Purple, Wolfie, the gang.
I know that feeling. I actually still have a couple of stuffed animals downstairs from when I was like 2.
I think the oldest one I had was my little purple teddy bear. She wasn't necessarily my favorite. I think it was my wolf plushie that was my favorite, but she had history. She had history. So that's what mattered. But when I thought of growing up, like when I was in high school, I never necessarily wanted to get older. Like, I wanted to be able to have the option to just go fuck off on my own and travel the world. But
I'm gonna get those coins.
I always took it day by day, sort of. Just like, grab whatever's in front of me. The next school year, the next piece of homework, that sort of thing.
And you kind of can't live like that if you want to do anything.
Yeah, no. But that's the way I liked it because when I thought about aging up, I always thought about, well, I'm gonna die someday then. And I don't want that. The last thing I want is to die. So we're just gonna, just keep going in this eternal school life because even though, like, most people fucking hated school, I loved it.
Mask is where we got that I promise I will never die thing. Like,
what?
We revived the I promise I will never die thing when Second Place came to live with us as a reference to, what's it called? The puppet movie.
There's a lot of puppet movies. You can be a little more specific, like
Team America World Police. I promise I will never die. But we actually did promise each other, like, look, you and me, we're gonna be immortal.
Man, if you fucking figure that out, please tell me, because my biggest fear, no joke, is death. Like,
I mean, most people's biggest fear is death.
Like, yeah.
The final boss of our lives is death itself.
Exactly.
Fighting temporary threats only barely helps.
It doesn't even matter if there's a fucking afterlife, because I don't care about that. I want to physically be here on Earth. For as many sucky days as there are, I just want to be alive. I want the option to do the things that I enjoy. I don't. So
you're Jesse.
Yeah, I don't want to have this ticking fucking timer, like, always going in the back of my mind, like, one day you're just not going to be able to do these things. You better enjoy it while it lasts. Youth is wasted on the young, and yeah, it is, because when you're young, you can't fucking do anything that you want to do, and the next thing you know, you're 6 years old, you have all the money in the world to do what you want, but you physically can't.
Yep. Being alive is a scam.
It is. Need a patch immediately.
It's pay to win, too.
It fucking is. It fucking is. And you know what? The randomized generator of, like, who gets what at the start of the game is fucking bullshit.
Uh-huh. Hey, they took the cue from the Stick of Truth, and they make the difficulty slider really obvious by making it your skin color. Did you know that the Stick of Truth did that?
Yeah, you've told me before. You've told me semi-recently, actually. Oh, bye, Pro.
Well, I hate that it makes you fall for such a long time.
Yeah, at least it's not as bad as that first fall. That first fall was something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I do like from childhood that I'd like to recapture is just the sense of having all the time in the world to do everything. Like, I don't need to try to, like, rush through getting this. Like, I don't have a bunch of shit to do to fucking survive. I can just spend my day reading this manga or watching all of this anime and, you know, get a little bit of homework done, and that's all my obligation is. I did my 8 hours and now I'm done.
You gotta make YouTube YouTube needs to happen for you, because I'm kind of already living that life. I will sometimes like you saw what it was like with me and TrotCon and BronyCon and all of that.
Yeah,
but, like,
I'm fucking jealous of you. Like, no joke. Just not.
Well, you're enabling me.
Well, yeah, but because someone has to fucking do it, and I don't want you to kill yourself. So. Here, don't even bother with those bricks because you don't need them unless you want the extra hearts.
I don't want the extra hearts. Wait, there's a heart? A full heart or like a double heart?
I can't remember.
I never remember either.
I think it's full and a double heart. But you have to not shoot it right at the gate. Yeah. There you go. Okay, it was just a heart. It's still maybe worth it. What was I saying?
Jobs.
Yeah.
It's a thankless job, but somebody got to do it.
Yeah, and I don't hate the fact that my job exists necessarily, but it's just, I don't fucking want to do it.
And somebody is gonna say, well, that's why it's called the job. No, fuck you.
Yeah, no, fuck you.
That's a false dichotomy.
Fuck you.
Like, obligation does not mean that you have to be miserable. Just because you have to do it doesn't mean you have to hate it.
Yeah, you know, the whole thing about, oh, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Like,
it is not true.
You still technically work. Like, you know, even with YouTubing, even though that's my preferred career right now, it fucking sucks some days. Some days I don't want to get on the computer and do shit, but I do it anyways because it's way better than any other alternative I can think of. And,
like, with running the convention, not running the convention, but, you know, like
being
like
in a
managing
position where
the
you
table
end up doing
and stuff,
it, yeah.
At Trot and BronyCon, I was metaphorically killing myself at that task.
Well, a little bit, because you got sick and you're just, you know, kept the party train rolling.
It was just fucking everything.
Yeah.
Midnight Premiere and I were joking that I finally found what it takes to make me feel like I do more than nothing, and it is the limit of human capacity.
Thank God I don't have that problem.
That's not healthy, bro. And I'm like, yeah.
I am so glad I don't have that problem. Like, I watched that video by Jaden Animations, and I totally get that sentiment, but I just don't have it. Like, my base is I want to play video games. That's all I want to do. Play video games, read manga, watch anime or other shows. That's all I'd do if I was given the chance, really. Like, at some point, I'd start feeling antsy because I'm not doing anything, maybe. But then again, the last time I had the chance to even feel that way was before I even, like, you know, was serious about making creative content. So I can't really say that for certain.
For me, there's like a minimum amount that I even can work, because you saw that, like, the other day I made a wood plane. Do you know why I made a wood plane?
Why?
Because the internet was out.
Oh.
It wasn't even out. I can use it on my phone.
It just wasn't usable.
I wasn't able to watch this one video sped up, and so, like, okay, screw everything that I'm doing. I'm gonna go spend 10 hours in the shop.
Yeah.
I didn't spend all 10 hours on the wood plane, but that is a lot of what I did.
So you want to keep talking about childhood?
Yeah. The amount that I work, young me would not have been a fan.
Really? Oh wait, like how? Like, would young you have wanted to work more?
Young me would have wanted to work considerably less.
Really?
Young me thought that work was a sucker's game, and you should actually just con people into paying for you at every twist and turn.
Well, it fucking worked. I had to say, like, it's not what I feel. Like, I don't honestly feel it, but you know, the opportunity presented itself. It was too good to pass. Oh boy, the lives we lead.
Yeah. So if you can't tell, I am surviving, but I'm surviving the Ben Saint lifestyle right now.
What's the Ben Saint lifestyle?
You mean I can live on nothing but rice, and then that means that I don't have to have money for more than like 1 day a month? Cool. That kind of thing.
I can dig it.
Like just minimize as much as possible.
Yeah.
We already own these video games. As long as we can keep the electricity running, I can keep playing it, and I can keep making stuff. Wood is cheap. It naturally occurs in abundance in the country because there's a whole bunch of old farms and stuff like that where it's just laying around. And people like there's that fence, for example, that my mother doesn't want that I can keep, and I just occasionally go pull pieces off of it. That's where I got my workbench, is from like recycling wood, essentially. I can make half the furniture in our house that saves us thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that I'm making now, I can sell for an incredible markup. And it's less than I could be getting. I just feel like it's unfair for me to get any more than I get.
If I didn't care about health, I would totally be on board with the basically spend all my money on ramen noodles and like just buy ramen noodles, let that be my sustenance. Don't have a gym membership, which we have now.
Yeah.
Like, and don't care about like anything but the barest necessities, and we'd be good. Like, if I didn't care about health, that would be fine by me.
I want to talk about that gym membership later, but
Yeah.
let's finish up on childhood.
Oh, Kidder, go back. Kidder cat.
I wanted to, like, if I was going to take damage, I wanted to take more damage than I had.
Now, well, makes sense. But fuck you, I wanted Kidder cat.
Yep. Okay. So,
Let's see, what else did they talk about? I'm drawing all of this from the podcast because they had some interesting ideas that...
let's see. That childhood escape thing, I don't relate to.
I swear a lot more than I did when I was a kid. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god, so much more. I'd be ashamed, like, young me would be ashamed of myself if she heard some of the things I've said. Like, I can list them out.
In the early episodes, I remember corrupting you.
A little bit. I think I was a little corrupted even before that. Cause I can't.
You already did swear way more than I did at the time, and I was just putting on for a character, and now it's seeped into my actual language, and I hate it.
Yeah, I kind of hate it too. Like, I don't... See, it's twofold for me. On the one hand, I hate it because I don't want, like, this to be natural for me necessarily. And, I don't know, like, I've still got that childhood elitism of me saying that I don't curse. You fucking loser because you curse.
Oh, I had that. I had that in spades. Remember how I was like super up on being I am better than all other people.
Yeah.
And that was the basis of me and Mask's friendship. And Jen, while he was still with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and also...
You notice that Mask is still like that, right?
But Mask is Mask. Mask is, like, better than everyone, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But, what was I saying? It's also partially, like, swearing is not nice, so I've got that part of me still. But then again, it's like, all the people that, well, most of the people that influence me these days, like creators, they swear, they'll swear in in a lot of the same ways that I do, only, like, I'll say not as bad versions of what they do. So it's also like, you know, I just feel like
a wrecking ball. I can't stop because I have the tiger.
it's just
We'll
like,
never
you
be
know,
royals.
I'm one that, not necessarily that one of the guys, but just having been exposed to that sort of culture, it's just natural for me now. So basically what I'm saying is I'm trapped in a world where I swear all the time, but I don't do it in my videos because I'm still pretending to be a good girl.
That's kind of adorable.
A little bit. Like, the main reason, like, that I don't do it, and I actually, like, there was one time, I think you swore in our talking about childhood video.
Yeah.
And it made me
It's difficult
cringe.
to... It's
Like-
difficult to not drop the character. Or
Yeah.
it's difficult to drop the character. It's like the swearing has infected my language, for real.
Yeah. And the main reason why I don't want swearing on my channel in particular, unless, like, I were to start doing vlogs or something, even then I don't want to have swearing because I want my videos to be open to as big of an audience as possible, i.e. I don't want people to click off my videos because I use curse words. That, and also, I feel like I don't necessarily put on a character for not a vampire. Not a vampire is just a facet of my personality, but even still, she's a slightly nicer person than I am.
We have
Like-
never talked about this before. That is super interesting to me.
I think we did. Like, there's, like, what I think about a certain YouTube comment and what I respond with won't necessarily always be my full thoughts on it because, you know, sometimes you don't want to burn bridges. Just, again, it's not necessarily a nicer version, but it's a version that, it's not as far as, you know, Tumblr, everyone's beautiful type, but
Hugbox.
yeah, it's not entirely Hugbox, but it's a more, it's a personality that leans that way, yet is not quite that. It's still, like, when you compare it to, say, 4chan, I'm way far from that, but
Yeah, you're not even close.
it's a sort of in between. Like, I'll call people out for bullshit when I need to, but otherwise, I'm trying not to be very confrontational. I'm not necessarily trying to be Digibro calling out everyone who I think is fucked up.
See, being on Digi versus everybody made me, like, that intensified the character of Tarbuck Transom, and made me way more of an asshole. And you can start to see shades of me doing the, like, I am the greatest person ever thing in my main channel videos. You know, when I was still making those. I haven't stopped making videos, I just, like, took a breather because, yo, those conventions fucking killed me.
Oh yeah. I want to talk more on, like, our characters next time and maybe more about childhood, because I think this is long enough.
Yeah, no, because we're gonna finish childhood, alright?
Well, yeah, we will, but for the sake of people who have,
Alright.
yeah.
We can be, like, nice to the pansy babies.
we're not good, we're not bad, we're just nice.
Nicey. Okay, so,
See you next time.
did we just kill Bowser? Like, no.
No.
We
We
killed
fought their
the
lackeys.
mecha.
Bowser ran off with their GF.
Yeah.
But I think we finished our balloon.
Okay. Next time in the Arch Place.
Bye.